I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until by my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye joda zoge jonam la, chanjo bado dane gyarsuch. Dage jin soge be sonam ge, trola penjire sanje drubara isho. Sanye joda zoge jonam la, chanjo bado dane gyarsuch. Dage jin soge Penjire sanje drubara isho. Sanje joda zoge chonam la, chanjo bardo dane gyarsuch. Dage jinso gebe sonam ge, dola penjire sanje drubara isho. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, which is afraid of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all these hearing peace, which through the knowledge of past schools, houses, and graces achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps to expand the varieties of teachings. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. The teacher is God and protector to you of my prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu Shandatagato hyavatat tesham jayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, the sentient causes as well as taught by the great seer. Finding no one who had fathomed this teaching, in silence I'll return to words. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the professional wisdom, which is unborn, unseen, and has the nature of space. Is object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, are the essence. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcendent sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is also everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove to the suchness of the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries glow. If attached to Islam, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay. So this morning what we're discussing was the four essentials, essential identified object negation, and okay, now let us put it more in the form of actual meditation, in the form of practice. Okay, just the first look at this flower. Look at this flower, and okay, look at this flower, and just the mentally remember this flower. Okay, and how does this flower appear to you in your mind? As objectively real, or as like a dream that subjectively your mind is imputing it, like a movie projector projecting it on a screen? How does that appear? Yeah, of course, it appears as so object real, nothing to do with my mind. This is known as the perception of the objective existence of the flower. And when we speak of the emptiness of the flower, object negation, the first essential to identify the object negation is identifying that the flower exists objectively real, nothing to do with my mind or independent of my mind. Okay, this is how the flower appears to me. That is object negation. Okay, so how do we evaluate to see if the flower exists objectively the way it appears, or it exists subjectively? How do we evaluate this? By subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis. Now you know what is ultimate analysis. Subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis, let's say in very simple terms, let's employ the ultimate analysis in the form of the electron microscope to see the object more closely, as what Arjuna indicated in the precious garden. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Okay, let us all say these two lines together. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Once more. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? Okay, how do we go closer to this object to see if the flower does exist objectively? By subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis, the mind which goes closer to this object. So that, in a loose sense, we take the electron microscope, using the electron microscope as in lieu of the ultimate analysis. First, what we see is that this what is seen as so tender and beautiful textured flower. Through electron microscope, we see that it is not as tender as how we see this through our naked eyes. It's so very gross, like the dry mud, dry clay, with the cracks there. And through further fine-tuning electron microscope, we see that these cracks are nothing but the partitions of the cells. And these partition cells are the cell membranes. And within the cell membrane, you see the nucleus, cytoplasm. And through further fine-tuning the electron microscope, you will see within the nucleus, you see the chromosomes. And chromosomes like a very striped, brownish striped, snake-like structures. And through further fine-tuning electron microscope, we see that even this structure of the chromosomes is nothing but DNA molecules. And these molecules are made of atoms. Just stay there. Now what do you see? I see a pool of atoms. If the flower does exist objectively, then this flower should sustain this analysis. In other words, this flower should exist and should be seen by the ultimate analysis. And subjective flower ultimate analysis, we just see the bunch of atoms or pool of atoms. The flower, which was so beautiful, but these atoms, none of the atoms of the flower is beautiful, but these atoms, they are what we call as the parts of the flower. If the flower does exist objectively, there are only two possibilities, two options. One is that these atoms that we're seeing should be the flower, or the flower should be different from these atoms. And these atoms from the object to be identified as should be identified as the flower, but this is not the case. None of the atoms should be identified as objectively as the flower, objectively as one with the flower, which means objectively these atoms are not the flower. If you are sure of this, this is the understanding of the second essential. Essential understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically one with its parts. Okay, be sure of this, that what I'm seeing is the atoms, these are not intrinsically to be identified as the flower, which means it is intrinsically, these are not intrinsically one with the flower. These parts are not the atoms as the parts are not intrinsically to be or objectively to be identified as one with the flower. In other words, these are not to be identified as objective with the flower. If you are sure of this, you got the second essential. Now, of the two possibilities, if this possibility is ruled out, then the second possibility is that if you still believe that this flower exists objectively, then it should be existing as intrinsically different or objectively different from the atoms. Remove the atoms and see what is left there to see if the flower exists as intrinsically different from the atoms, different from the parts, and as atoms. Remove the atoms, what happens? Nothing is left there as the flower. This is, if you're sure of this, that the flower does not exist independent or getting away from removing the atoms, nothing is left there as a flower. There's nothing to identify as a flower as different, as objectively different from the atoms. If you're sure of this, you've got the third essential of understanding the emptiness of the objects being intrinsically different from its parts. But these two understandings combined together will give you a conviction that the two possibilities for the flower, if it does exist objectively, when these two possibilities ruled out from the object, they cannot be objectively existent flower. If you're sure of this, you've got the fourth essential of the pervasion, understanding of the pervasion, that anything which is empty of being intrinsically one with and intrinsically different from its parts entails the emptiness of objectivity of the flower. From the object, there's no flower there. Okay, now the conclusion. Where's the flower from the object? Subjecting the flower to ultimate analysis. Where's the flower? Nowhere to be seen. Just stay in this experience that the flower is empty, the non-affirming negative. Stay in this experience for a while. Where from the object, it is totally empty. The emptiness of objectivity, that is the reality, that is the objectivity of the flower. That the flower is empty from the object, that is the objectivity or the ultimate reality of the flower, true reality of the flower. That is flower empty from the object reality. Emptiness or objectivity of the flower is the objectivity or the ultimate reality of the flower, as seen by the ultimate analysis. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay, now just imagine that you come out of the meditation. Coming out of the meditation, again, think of the same flower. Again, the flower comes back in your mind. Yes, from the object, you are 100% sure that it is empty. It still appears to the mind, however. Mind is the subject, it's not the object. On the subject level, it still appears. Therefore, we can draw a conclusion it is purely subjective. It is a mere subjectively real. It's merely as subjective. From the object is empty, therefore it is like illusion, like a mirage, like illusion. It simply appears to the subject, such as the mind. From the object is all just empty. This is known as the illusion like emptiness. Okay, slowly come out of this meditation, come out. This is how we are doing the meditation emptiness. So with this in mind, I like to introduce what we've already explained. I like to, again, consolidate what we learned in this form, that this object, that's a flower, we are very sure that from the object, it is empty. Which means the flower, when subject to ultimate analysis, the flower is empty. Which means the flower, when the flower is not seen by the ultimate analysis, it doesn't mean that the flower is non-existent. It simply means it does not exist objectively. Okay. And if it does not exist objectively, does it exist or not then? It does exist. How does it exist? It exists subjectively. Okay. So we see that, how to know that it exists subjectively? Because when we subject the flower to conventional analysis, we see it as a flower. When we subject the object to the ultimate analysis, we see the flower is empty. So the same object can be seen in two different ways. You're getting it? Okay. Now the challenging question. Ready? Okay. When you look at this object, say let's say group A and group B. Group A and group B. Group A looks at it through the conventional analysis. Group B looks at it through ultimate analysis. Okay, so let's say this side. From here, your name? Rinzila. Tenzin. Tenzin Namdala. Namkha. Namkha Namtak. Namkhala. Tenzin Namkhala, Sirinchudula, the lady over there. Kirti. And the lady over there. Bia. And Kaya. And here, gentleman here. Philip. Okay, this side is group A. And this side is group B. Right? This side is group B. Saying group A looks at this object and okay, you should have clear ears. Group A looks at it, looks at this object through your naked eyes. Group B naked eyes meaning conventional analysis. And group B looks at it through ultimate analysis. Now I'm not going to use the easy words all the time, naked eyes, electron microscope. I'm going to shift it to the technical terms. Group A looks at this object through ultimate conventional analysis, and group B looks at it through ultimate analysis. Okay, group A, what is this? Group B, what is this? No flower, emptiness of flower. The flowers, no, there's just a bunch of atoms, no flower. Okay, group A, what is this? Group B, what is this? Emptiness of flower. Good. Okay. Is there anybody who remembers the question that I asked you? What is the question that I asked?
Why is emptiness considered a non-confirming variable?
This is not my question. The question that I asked you, I said how, so with this question, to the question, answer that you give to the question, what was that question? The lady there? Yes, you? Oh, I did not ask a question. So what answer did you give? Your group B, this group A, and group B, what did I ask? What was your answer? This emptiness, right? You just randomly said it, or you answered it as you gave it the answer to my question. What is my question? Anybody who remembers? Huh? What is it associated with this? What I asked, what is this? What was the question? Full question, anybody who remembers? Say it again. What do you see when you look at this flower? Anybody else?
According to conventional analysis, how does this look for us, and according to ultimate analysis, how does this look for us?
This meaning, this one?
No, the flower.
Flower. What is this flower? Okay, anybody else?
What is this substance?
I didn't use the word substance. Anyone else?
What is this object?
Yeah. So this is why I asked you to have a clear ears, right? I did not ask what is this flower. I asked what is this object. You getting it? You must have you must be an extremely good listener, right? You must be a good listener. What is this object? I didn't say what is this flower, right? Okay, group A, what is this object? Flower. Group B, what is this object? Emptiness of flower. You getting it? Okay. So now let's see. From this, what we learn is that object as seen by the ultimate analysis is known as ultimate truth. Okay. Group A is conventional analysis. Object as seen by the conventional analysis is the conventional truth. Object that is seen by the ultimate analysis is known as ultimate truth. Same object has two different truths. Same object has two different truths. It manifests two truths. One as seen by the conventional analysis and one as seen by the ultimate analysis. Okay. So, what is the object that is seen by group A? Flower. So, group A uses which one? Ultimate analysis, conventional analysis. Conventional analysis. So, the flower is what? Conventional truth, ultimate truth. Why is the conventional truth? Because that is the object seen by conventional analysis. Very good. Okay, group B. What is this? Emptiness of flower. So emptiness of flower is seen by which of the two analysis? Ultimate analysis. Because it's seen by ultimate analysis, it is known as ultimate truth. Okay, so the same object displays two truths. You're getting it? Is it true that there's a flower? Hey, is it true that there's a flower? Group B will say that there's no flower. So what are you saying? But group A will say, yes, it's a flower. It's true. Is it true that it's empty of objective existence? Yes. Group A has no idea. Group B will say, yes, it is empty of true existence. So it is true for you, it is true for you as well. But you see the truth as different. You see it as a flower. The group B sees this as an emptiness of flower. Both are the truth. Both are the truths of the same object. So this is known as the same object demonstrating two truths. Therefore, the Buddha taught that all phenomena, every phenomena has two truths. Every phenomena has two truths. My question is still yet to come. Every phenomena has two truths each. Okay, my question to you is, what makes group A say that this is flower? Hey, group A, what makes you think that this is flower? I can see through conventional analysis. Okay. And what group B, what makes you see that this is emptiness of flower? I can see through the ultimate analysis. Okay. Now, what this object is, it is not determined by the object. It is determined by the subject. When you use the conventional analysis, you see this as a flower. You see the conventional truth. When you use the ultimate analysis as a subject, you see this as emptiness of flower. Ultimate truth. Now my question to you is, if I remove the two subjects, if I remove the two subjects, conventional analysis, ultimate analysis, if I remove the two subjects, what is this object? Huh? Raise hands. Louder. There's no subject to describe it. So? Silence. Okay. Abhishekji? If the two subjects are removed, what is this? I did not change the object. I'm not changing the object. I don't even touch the object there. Right? You said this is flower. Group B says this is emptiness of flower. And we concluded that how you see the object demonstrates two qualities, two truths. And these two truths are on the basis of not the object, on the basis of the subjects. Remove the two subjects. What is this object? This is my question. I do not even touch the object. Right? So I keep the object as it is, as intact as it is. So what is this object? If I remove the two subjects, what is this? Raise hands, raise hands. Raise hands. Yes. It doesn't exist. Anyone else?
It's emptiness because it's the reality.
So emptiness is described on the basis of emptiness is described on the basis of the ultimate analysis. And I said remove the ultimate analysis. What is this? Huh? Okay, Dr. Mundan is saying that this is indescribable. It cannot be described as yes, no, flower, no flower. You cannot describe anything in the eyes of the ultimate analysis. This is what? Your name? Huh? Unit. You did. What you did said? The silence. Cannot be described. Right? Okay, anyone else? Yes.
Is an emptiness of both conventional truth and ultimate truth put together?
So they remove the two analysis. What is this? Is the combination of two?
The emptiness of the combination of truth.
So the emptiness of the combination of truths. That's interesting. Okay. So because the two truths are gone, because two subjects are gone. So the emptiness of two subjects come into being. That's interesting. Okay. I'm not going to say no as of now. Yes, Farizaji?
So when there is no subject there, therefore it doesn't even exist.
It does not exist. So non-existence is there. Non-existence is there. Non-existence is a conventional ultimate. Non-existence. Hey, there's no elephant. Conventional ultimate. Huh? Ultimate. Wow, that's amazing. So everybody sees ultimate truth. No elephant in this house. Conventional ultimate. Conventional. So non-existence is conventional. Again, it's seen by conventional analysis. Philip?
What?
You raised hand. You did not raise hand? Or did you answer it?
I would say it cannot be known.
It cannot be known. It cannot be known. But it can be known by the Buddha.
I don't know.
Okay. Yes.
It remains as something that has the potential to be perceived by subjects. It remains as something that has the potential to be perceived as
There's a something there. There's something there which is the potential to manifest as ultimate truth or the conventional truth. There's something there. What is that something? Conventional ultimate truth.
that's not decided.
Huh? No, everything should be, if something exists, it should necessarily be conventional ultimate truth. No, if something exists, it should necessarily be conventional truth or the ultimate truth. These two, this is what I'm saying. You have two hands, you are not two hands. You have two hands, you are not two hands. Are you two hands? You are not two hands. You have two hands. Everything has two truths. Everything is not two truths. You getting it?
When we get to that origination?
Dependent origination. Dependent origination is the conventional truth or ultimate truth? Conventional truth, it should be seen by conventional analysis. You have removed the conventional analysis. Okay. Yes. So object being absent of subject, this subject is a conventional truth.
Existence is absent of the subject.
Objective existence is the absence of.
I meant to say that the object exists even though there is absence of the subject.
Object does exist even though the subject is absent. So what is that? Is that conventional truth or ultimate truth? Conventional truth. It should be seen by conventional. So I'll remove the conventional analysis. Okay, what is there? Yes.
There are not such things.
There's no such thing as this. That is conventional ultimate. Huh? There's no such thing as this.
So as this scenario,
Uh-huh.
both shoes are up.
Say it again. There's no such thing. There's no such thing where the two analysis out. That is that a reality or not? If that is, does it exist or not? If it exists, what is that? Conventional truth, ultimate truth. Yes, over there.
In school, they believe that external phenomena exist external to the consciousness. So we can call it as an external phenomenon.
Okay, there's external phenomena there. Is that conventional ultimate?
Phenomena external to the consciousness.
Yes, so what is that? Conventional truth or ultimate truth? Okay, so with these in your mind, you feel a little hazy, resents. A little hazy. Okay, if you really felt a little hazy there, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. It makes sense, I could not get it. It makes sense. It's strange. If that feeling comes to you and this little uneasiness comes to your mind experientially, little uneasiness comes, this is a very good starting point. So we have to study more, reflect more, and if possible, you cannot go to this directly. You cannot go to this directly, not in the master's course. You cannot do this directly unless you have done earlier master's course or earlier diploma course or NCC, Nalanda certificate course. Without one of these three things done, you cannot directly do this Nalanda master's course batch 2. But this is possible there, Nalanda diploma course batch 4. You getting it? So likewise, there are many other such courses, not necessarily from Tibet House. There are other courses as well, but it's always better to do something, a very systematic course. There are institutions which provide, the only benefit of the Tibet House is that teachings are happening directly in English is one benefit. Number two, the fees are very nominal for the monastic and the students. The heavy discount is there. So therefore, there are so many benefits there. And of course, many topics are being covered within the span of this one, 4 to 5 years, and here, just 1 year. There are so many benefits there, but it's not necessary that you have to do the Tibetan course. There are so many other courses offered by other institutions. Yes?
Finally, have we actually answered the question, why is emptiness a non-affirming negative? And if so, can you try to put it in one sentence, like a punchline? If we have answered this question, why is emptiness a non-affirming negative? Can we try to put it in one sentence, in the shortest possible?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking, is it possible? Is there a way to answer this question in one sentence in order to help us understand?
It's just a mere absence.
That's too short.
There's no shorter than one word. Right? I added 3 words. It's just the absence. It's just the absence. 3 words are there. Not too short. Okay. Yes.
When we say it's just absent, how we does not feel anything?
Okay, that's a good question. It's just absence. How is it not nihilism? Okay, that we have to explore more. Yes.
You have removed both subjects. So
If this is just rhetorically, is not just, in actuality you cannot remove any of the subjects, but rhetorically, if you have to remove the subjects,
in that case, without subject, then the ultimate and conventional doesn't make any sense.
so without the subject, ultimate conventional doesn't make sense. Is that conventional ultimate? Huh?
There's no mind.
Do you know that or not? Without the subject, there should be no ultimate, no conventional. Do we all understand it? If you understand it, it must be conventional truth. If it's conventional, it should be seen by conventional analysis. Right? You have not removed the conventional analysis. Okay, this is the one thing that we need to keep in mind. And on that basis, seeing the true truths. This is so important that Heart Sutra, in Heart Sutra, they say of all the perfections of wisdom sutras, there are so many of such sutras there. And in the Tibetan translation Kanjur, we have the Bum, means 100,000, the lines. And we also have the 8,000, the Ketomba, 8,000 lines, the text on emptiness. And then the many other shorter texts like Heart Sutra. Heart Sutra is just like 1.5 pages. So there's essence, heart meaning the essence of all the professional wisdom sutras. From this essence, the 4 lines: form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. Okay, now, okay, what is the first line? Form is emptiness. Form is empty. So what group A sees as form, flower, is what group B sees as empty of flower. You getting it? Form is empty. Which means that what group A sees as a flower is, in ultimate analysis, it is empty of being a flower, which means ultimate truth. Seen by the ultimate analysis, there's an ultimate truth. So the first line is identify the ultimate truth. Form is empty. What's the second line? Emptiness is a form. What group B says as emptiness is what group A sees as a physical form, flower. So that is, although objectively it is empty, but subjectively something is there. There's a flower. That is the conventional truth. The first line explains the ultimate truth. Second line explains the conventional truth. And these two truths, are they like two different entities? Are they like two different entities like the mango and the apples, two different entities? No. What is the third line? Emptiness is not other than the form, which means what group B sees as emptiness is, okay, group B, what is this? Group A, what is this? Flower. So I pointed to the same object without shifting it, without moving it, but you give two different answers. What group A sees as emptiness of flower, this is not different from what group A sees as flower. So these two are the same entity. When you point to the object, I'm referring to the same object for the two different labels. You getting it? What group B sees as emptiness is what group A sees as the flower. These two are not objectively, there's object meaning from the object. When you go to the object, these two are not seen as different. So these two are the same entity, same nature. The two truths of the same object, these two are the same nature, not different entities. You getting it? What is the fourth line? Form is also not other than emptiness. What group A sees as form is not different from what group B sees as emptiness of form. So, ultimate truth is not different from conventional truth. Conventional truth is not different from the ultimate truth. You getting it? The two truths are the same nature. Same entity, different isolates. Okay. Can anybody give me the reason or any reason to explain how the two truths of the same flower, these two truths are absolute-wise different, which means in your mind how the two things appears different. Okay, how the two truths of the same flower, these two are absolute-wise different. Can anybody give me reasons? Rachel? Huh?
When we look at convention,
Okay, let us all listen to all of us. Yes, Rachel?
well, when we look at it conventionally, we're looking at it through with our obstructed minds, with our, cognitive
So what was my question? What was my question? How the two truths of the same object, these two are absolute-wise different. Anyone else? Philip?
If you look at the emptiness,
Huh?
if you look at the emptiness,
Yeah.
and it's an absence, and the conventional analysis, something comes up.
Okay, you're getting somewhere good. Yankila? How to isolate? Okay, so the two understands are much more the similar. What Philip, what Engel is saying is much more same. Anybody else who likes to put in your own words? Okay, Kaya?
Well, first thing is both are the same, right? But then we look at it as one right? Wisdom and the other one doesn't.
Let us not say both are same. Let's say the two are same nature, same entity. So how these two are entities? Absolute was different. Entity was one. Absolute was different. So how these two are absolute was different?
Because one aspect, one of the understanding is acquired by wisdom, the other one is not acquired by wisdom.
Say it again.
That is when we see the ultimate analysis, it's because we have wisdom to see that.
Perfect. The other one?
The other one, we don't have any wisdom to see that.
Okay, that's also nice way of saying it. That one, the flower, you don't require any wisdom. Just look at it, you see a flower. Anybody can see that. But emptiness of flower, to see that, you need a wisdom. So one, the object to be seen by the wisdom, one to be seen without even any wisdom, you can see that. So therefore, these two are also different. This good. Anybody else? Yes.
we look at the flower from two different levels of subtlety, so we describe two different characteristics.
Okay, that's also a nice way of saying it. Say one is very subtle, one is very gross. Flower is very gross. It's very gross. But the emptiness of flower is very subtle. So one is subtle, one is gross with respect to how you understand it, your mind understands it. Isolate meaning how it appears to your mind. One appears as very subtle, one appears very gross. Very good way of identifying the two as two different isolates. Very good. Anybody else? Yes.
Something similar. It is the way we employ the analysis, the subjective analysis in two ways. So that is why it is.
Oh, there's also another look. So look, there's a richness, the great richness of the explanation coming up. So the fact that the flower, it should be seen by the conventional analysis, not by the ultimate analysis. Whereas the emptiness of flower must be seen by the ultimate analysis, not by the conventional analysis. So the subjects should be very different. So therefore, the two things are actually wise different. Anybody else? More?
I would say, appearances are deceptive, so what I see does not exist in the way it exists. So what I see there is a flower, if I think of it through ultimate analysis, it's actually inherently empty. It's empty.
So one, through just in a loose perception, you see it's a flower. Then the moment you change the subject to ultimate analysis, you see the emptiness of flower. So again, very good way of seeing these two things as different. Anybody else?
The last one, which says about the probation and that which is will ask a different part. So that I think is the logic I would use to say that.
So no, how the two things are seen as isolated wise different? How? Two things, not the intrinsically one intrinsically different, but the flower and the emptiness of the flower. How these two are isolated wise different. Anyone? More?
We need much more effort to create an image of emptiness. When, for example, the flower, it's less effort because it appears much more clear.
Say it again. Emptiness. To create the image of the flower.
Emptiness asks a lot of imagination.
Okay, a lot of effort is required to create the image of the emptiness of the flower. But to create the image of the flower is very easy. Yeah, right? That's again a very good way of saying this.
When I say that, because the emptiness of this particular flower is not coming because it isolates from that particular flower.
Okay, that's very complicated. Okay, so the emptiness of this flower does not come from the isolated flower. Is that what I'm saying?
Instead of any other.
Oh, what I'm saying is that emptiness, the flower, and the emptiness of flower. Let's not compare with the other things. These two things. Okay. This Bella.
Under the conventional analysis, it's a flower, and emptiness is the absence of the flower.
Emptiness.
In this ultimate analysis,
In the ultimate analysis.
and if I'm seeing the emptiness of the flower, is absence of the flower.
Yes. So how these two are super different? How?
So there's absence of flower and there's flower. So isolated.
Okay. This is also a good thing. Yes. Okay. So what I would say is that let's say that what this Bella is saying is that how many agree with me that the flower is a positive phenomenon in every sense? Emptiness of flower is a negative phenomenon in every sense. One is negative, one is positive. These two they appear very differently to your mind. Right? Absence is a negative phenomenon, and the flower is a positive phenomenon. So these two are naturally they appear very different to the subjective mind. Therefore, these two are isolated wise different. You're getting it? Okay. Yes.
Would it be true to say the simple sentence, everything exists subjectively?
Yes, of
That
course.
sentence is true. Okay.
Say it again.
Everything
This is
exists
subjective 100%.
Okay.
Correct. Yes. So now with this, what we say is that, in fact, say from this understanding, from understanding two truths, you can understand what is samsara and what is nirvana. From understanding the two truths, you can understand what is samsara and what is nirvana. Oftentimes, in the great texts, like the ones written by Adi Nagarjuna, and also the Buddha also indicated sometimes that the samsara and nirvana are the same, one and the same thing. Right? But don't think that samsara is nirvana, nirvana is samsara. This is totally wrong. When you say that samsara and nirvana, they are the same thing, it means something very profound. For example, the flower. Don't say the flower is emptiness, emptiness of the flower. Don't say that. These are the two entities of the same, these are the two characteristics of the same object. You're getting it? These are the same entities, but they are not same isolates. These two are two different isolates with the same entity. So what is samsara and what is nirvana? There is no samsara and nirvana as two different entities. So what is that? Let me explain this to you now. Okay, let's say that we're all going to have Guru A and Guru B. We're all going to have go for a pilgrimage to Mount Kailash. Right? We're all going for a pilgrimage to Mount Kailash. And Group A and Group B, say the Venerable, the Tudan Tenzila, and Tudan Tenzila said that she warns us that Hey, we should be very careful when you go there. You can have glare issue. What is glare issue? What's a glare issue? Anybody? Sun's light, it can be very bright that it can damage your eyes. So we should be very careful. For that, what do we need? We need glasses or goggles to stop the glare, right? And then Group A and Group B, Venerable Tenzila shows us two different shops from where you can buy the goggles. Shop one is a very cheap shop, and the other one is extremely high quality shop. And from the cheap ones, Group A, you go to the cheap one or the high quality one? Cheap ones. Group B, high quality ones. Okay, so Group A is the guy is responsible, not me. He takes us to the cheap one, right? And then you buy the goggles. Group B also buys the goggles. Then you go to Mount Kailash. And Venerable Tenzila said that Mount Kailash is so precious, so holy, and the snow is so spectacularly clean, so spick and span clean, so beautiful. You go there, and Group A looks at it. What is this? Very dirty Mount Kailash. Very dirty Mount Kailash. Group B looks at it. It's so beautiful, spick and span clean, so beautiful, right? And Group A says, what is this? It's so dirty. So why, Group A, you are saying so dirty? Why? Because of the dirty lens, right? Who is responsible? Guy is responsible. He took you to the cheap shop. You're getting it. Your glasses are so dirty, and you think that the Mount Kailash snow is so dirty. And Group B, Kaya took them to the good quality shop. So they got this extremely Japan-made goggles, right? And wow, it's so clean. Okay, now look, what Group A sees as a dirty Mount Kailash, what Group B sees as a very clean Mount Kailash, is that the same object or different objects? Same object. And why? The two see two different objects there. One is very clean, one is very dirty. Why? Because of your two different subjects, two different goggles. You're getting it? So the Mount Kailash seen as dirty by Group A through the dirty lenses, that is samsara. Mount Kailash seen by as very clean Mount Kailash as seen by the Group B through the very clean lens, that is nirvana. You're getting it? Very clean, so pure, very dirty. And Group A also thinks of, I think who's that? Maybe Pinzola. He's more, say the person to drive into charity works. Mount Kailash Clean Project. Pinzola will start Mount Kailash Clean Project from Group A, right? And Group B says that no need of, right, Omala, right? No need for Mount Kailash Clean Project. It's already very clean, right? Okay, so say that, are you looking at the same Mount Kailash or different Mount Kailash? Group A and Group B. Same Mount Kailash. Same Mount Kailash seen through a dirty lens to be seen as dirty Mount Kailash, that is samsara. Same Mount Kailash seen as very clean Mount Kailash in the eyes of the clean goggles is known as the nirvana. So these are the two aspects of the same object. Same object. So how do we look at how do we interact with the world? What do you see the world? Imperfect or perfect? You see the world as imperfect or perfect? Very imperfect. Look at a family conflicts are there, right? Neighbors, COVID-19. If there's a rain problem. No rain problem. If you're alone, being lonely problem. If you're other people, no privacy problem. All problems are there. These are the samsara seen through your dirty lens of your mind.
When you look at things from the dirty lens of mind, we invariably see things as dirty. That is samsara. There's no samsara outside there. Whereas if you purify this lens of your mind, you look at the same object, right? You purify mind, then you are by yourself, you say, wow, what a privacy. When you're with other people, you say that, wow, I'm not lonely. You're getting it? It's so beautiful. Okay, so this is how we see that the samsara nirvana is just a matter of how you look at it, and is to the degree of cleansing your mind. You cleanse your mind to otherwise sees things objective real. You remove that, then you see nirvana. When you project things objective real and believe that them is objective real, that is samsara. It's the same object. It's how you see that. With emptiness of the object, or with emptiness objectivity of the object, or presence of the object of the object. Present object of the object, that is samsara, and emptiness object of the object, that is nirvana. It's the same object, seen in two different ways. You see samsara and nirvana, depending on how you look at it. Okay. So with this, I'd like to take you to page 4 of the Blaze of Non-Dual Bodhicittas, page 4. I don't know if I asked somebody to remind me to explain this verse. Did I ask somebody? In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation. Did I ask somebody to remind me? Huh? You don't remember? Right. Even the people who had to remind me, they also forgot. Right. Okay, never mind. So let's see. This is now, having understood what is samsara, what is nirvana, on a basis of understanding of emptiness of objectivity, you see that this line is extremely, this verse is extremely precious. Okay. In this world, where we live in the world of miseries. These miseries is all marked by 8 phenomena. 8 phenomena of dependent origination. What are they? Arising and ceasing. Right? Say, good people comes to your campus, you are happy. Bad people comes to your campus, complicated people comes, you are unhappy. Right? Bad people leaves, you are very happy. Good people leaves, you are very sad. Right? Coming, going. And then say, birthday, you'll celebrate. Birthday, somebody's born, you celebrate. Rising of somebody. And then ceasing of somebody dies. You are so pained. Right? So coming, arising and ceasing. Coming and going. Then the good things, like New Year. The happy moments, like New Year, and so forth, you want that to be permanent. Right? And the bad things, you want them to annihilate altogether. Yes? Permanence and annihilation. And some people, they fight, saying that we are not one country, we are different countries. And some people, they fight, saying that no, we are one country. East Germany, West Germany, we are one country. We are not 2 different countries. And some people say North Korea, South Korea, we are 2 different countries. And some say, no, we are one country. Tibet, China, 2 different countries. China say, no, we are one. Right? So people crave for oneness. People crave for differentness. And on this basis, so much of loss of lives happen. So much wars happen. All these border tensions, wars, they're all because of wanting to be one or wanting to be different. So we see that all our misery, somehow they revolve around these 8 phenomena. What are they? Arising and ceasing. Then permanence and annihilation. Then coming and going. And then oneness and separateness. These are the 8 phenomena with which our problems revolve around. When see these 8 phenomena as objectively real, we are trapped in miseries. And when see that these 8 phenomena, they are all like illusion, empty of true existence, your miseries dissolve. So it says, reading this, it says, in dependent origination, the reality is that things are dependent origin, nothing subject to real. In dependent origination, if you understand dependent origination, then objectively you understand that objectively there's no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness and no sameness. So your miseries, and even objectively speaking, even your miseries are not there. Your sorrows are not there. All your sorrows dissolve in the experience of the emptiness. Okay. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace. In this experience of emptiness, when you subject your miseries to ultimate analysis, what happens? When you subject your miseries to ultimate analysis, what happens? You see the emptiness of the miseries. You're getting it? Your misery is dissolved. Your misery is transcended. So what do you expect, or what do you aspire? Miseries or the peace of the freedom from miseries? Peace of the freedom from miseries. This is what we are seeking. So the Buddha taught, yes, you can experience it. Within the miseries, you can experience the peace of the freedom from the miseries. Experience the emptiness of the miseries, you will experience the peace, absolute peace. And yes, that's very true. So where, even if you're in the midst of the problems, if you can meditate in emptiness, you can see that objectively, things are all empty. Objectively, your miseries are empty. The moment you get experience, instantly that mental agitation subsides. Instantly, it subsides. So this is what everybody is seeking. And who taught this on this earth for the first time? It says, I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers. Who is the supreme of the teachers? The teacher to teach you what you like the most. What is that thing which you like the most? Fearlessness and infinite happiness. And what makes you go there, what takes you there is the experience of emptiness. And whoever teaches that, that is the supreme of all the teachers. In this world, who taught it for the first time? The Buddha taught it. So therefore, you are the supreme of all the teachers. The supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace. Which peace? Peace where all your miseries dissolved in the experience of emptiness. This peace which is freed of elaborations. For example, okay, bad people are coming, so much of fear. Good people are going away. Now I have no support, right? Or now that country is annexing my country, right? Or now that country is dividing our country into two. Right? And then they say, okay, now what COVID is rising. And now the pollution is rising. The clean air is ceasing. So all these, when you see that these are all like illusion. So these are the elaborations. These are the multiplicities, the elaborations that your mind projects. When you see that these all stop in the experience of emptiness, this is which is freed of elaborations, where all the elaborations of the 8 phenomena, they're all dissolved in the experience of emptiness. Your misery is dissolved. That is the peace that everybody is seeing. And who taught this for the first time on this earth? That is the Buddha. It's only through the experience of emptiness. Without this experience of emptiness, no matter how sophisticated your meditative concentration is, at the most it can take you to that level of the peak of existence, not beyond that. Peak of existence is within the bound of samsara. You will never be free from samsara. So this is where the experience of the wisdom of emptiness is so precious, and it's on this basis that Arya Nagarjuna praised the Buddha Shakyamuni for having taught this emptiness. Okay, let's read this 3 times together. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is freed of elaborations. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme of all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is freedom of vibrations. In dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme of all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is freedom of vibrations. Okay, so this experience, the one who taught this peace, when last time I gave you three options: one, very pleasant dream; second, extremely unpleasant dream; number three, waking up from the dream. So you chose the number three, waking up. Waking up, the benefit is that in both the dreams, one is which is so pleasant, the other one is very unpleasant. In both cases, what's the problem? Lack of freedom. In both cases, there's a lack of freedom. Lack of freedom is misery. Misery is samsara. So therefore, when you wake up, all that you see in the dream as arising, ceasing, right? Okay, now today's the day that we're going to have the birthday party celebration, birthday celebration rises, and in the evening, birthday celebration comes to an end, ceasing. Then I wish that the COVID is not at all that annihilated completely. I wish that this permanent solution is their permanence. I wish that the bad people are, bad people are always away from us. They are split from us. Good people are always together with me. And all these elaborations in the dream, they stop. All these 8 phenomena, they stop the moment you wake up. You wake up, they're stopped. Because of this, all the problems related to these 8 phenomena stops. So that is the freedom, that is nirvana, this absolute peace. Okay. Okay, so good. We'll stop here. Eata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Ragate Farasangate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhiswatyata. Okay, this afternoon we'll begin Bodhicitta, teaching Bodhicitta.